Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. My name is Cal Adams, and my pronouns are he and him. I'm a member of this fellowship and your service leader this morning. The UU Fellowship of the Emerald Coast is a religious community united by UU principles and committed to service, spiritual growth, and caring fellowship. If you're visiting today, you will find information about us on the back of your order of service, on our website, and on our Facebook page. Please fill out a visitor card at the table by the front door so that we can connect with you and send you information about upcoming events. You've discovered a community of friendly and fallible humans who welcome you here. All of us were visitors and strangers once. We found friends, opportunities for spiritual growth and justice work here in the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Emerald Coast. We treasure the warmth and empowerment created here and welcome newcomers to be a part of it. We gather on the unceded lands of the Muskogee Nation of Florida. We are grateful for the use of this land today. The announcements are on your order of service, and there's a couple in the e-news for those who receive it. This fellowship is still in need of committee chairs. So, Deborah, you want to come up? Okay. I saw the hands go up. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. Come on up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Deborah, and I'm the president of the congregation. And we are still needing people. We need members on 3 committees. We have a caring committee that keeps in touch with our membership. We have a membership committee that keeps up with who's our members. And we have a communication committee where you need to be able to help facilitate communication. So we need people. So please, if you have any skills in those areas and you can help us out, please help us out. Thanks. Thanks, Cal.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Deborah. Our new minister, Reverend Kathy Hurt, has written a welcome letter to the congregation, and you can find that in the e-news for those of you that receive it. And it's wonderful. It's just heartwarming. I'm excited. Sandy Fowler has an announcement for the congregation. Please come on up.
Okay, it's Sandy again, and I have good news. I have 5 already prepaid tickets for the final performance this afternoon of the Fort Walton Community Chorus Spring Program, which is back to Broadway. This is actually our 50th year, and so we're doing some, retrospective stuff. I would love to have anybody who can be there, by all means, collect these from me, and we'll make that happen. It's not until 3 o'clock this afternoon in Fort Walton Beach at the Civic Auditorium. So come on down.
Thank you so much, Sandy. And we do have some congregation members that are performing there, so if you can make it out, that would be great. Our spring donation drive is going on right now, and we're collecting school supplies to benefit our students first, and then we'll assemble packages for school-age youth during second hour on Sunday, July 13th. So there is a QR code in the e-newsletter. I don't have the order of service in front of me right this second, but I'm not sure if there's a QR code there. But the QR code goes to the Amazon wish list of what they're looking for. If you have any questions, you can, it is on the order of service, great. You can talk to Jane Park or Stacy, thank you, Stacy, and neither are here today. But you know, we all know how to get in touch with them. So in general, yes, correct. About those, it's a really cool program. So if you can help in any way, please do. After the service, we have a brief time for refreshments and conversation, followed by what we call second hour, where you can choose a small group discussion that interests you. Today, we have Ancient History of Religions with Lauren Boyer in the Harmony Room. We have Climate Change with Kippy Harrelson. Is Kippy here today? Okay, maybe we don't have that one. Check up with us afterwards. And we have the Speaker Circle with Pastor Ivy right here in front. So make sure after you grab your coffee and snacks to find something cool to do. Second hour groups end at 12:15 and everyone is welcome. On the back of your order of service, you will notice that there's a handy snack schedule there which lists whose turn it is to bring in snacks after the service. Today is the third Sunday, and so snacks have been provided by attendees with the last names beginning with letters M through R. Thank you to all who brought something today. We appreciate you. And next week is the fourth Sunday, so the last names S through Z will be bringing snacks in next week as a reminder. The prelude begins us for the service. Alex is going to come up and help us light the chalice today. Thank you so much. Most of us are familiar with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. But another outcome that we don't talk about as much is post-traumatic growth. I'm going to read you a really quick quote from Lisa Tuller, who is a PhD from the research fellow at Burdick Center on Violence and Conflict at Northeastern University. People who emerge from difficult periods may use their unique experience and perspective to engage in activism, helping others who continue to suffer, or speaking out to promote social justice. These people are said to experience post-traumatic growth, a transformation leading to an appreciation of life, personal strength, spiritual change, and a sense of meaning. Research suggests that participating in communal rituals of commemoration and engaging in social justice promotes social support and post-traumatic growth. Please stand in spirit or in body and join us to sing hymn number 1012 in your teal hymnal, When I Am Frightened. All children are invited to come forward for the Time for All Ages with Josh Moore.
Howdy, y'all. I'm going to read this wonderful book that I had the first opportunity to read this morning, and I'm really stoked to read it to y'all. It is called, here, can I get a little, or can y'all hear me? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Awesome. It's called I Am Human, a Book of Empathy. I was born a miracle, one of billions, but unique. I am human. I am always learning. I'm finding my way and choosing my path on this incredible journey. I have big dreams. I see possibility. I have endless curiosity. I make discoveries. I have a feeling of wonder. I'm amazed by nature. All the time I am amazed. I have a playful side. I find joy in friendships. I am human. But being human means I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I can hurt others with my words, my actions, and even my silence. I can be hurt too. I can be fearful of things I don't yet understand. Some things are scary. And timid to try something new. I have a heavy heart when I feel sadness. I am human. But then I remind myself that because I am human, I can make choices. I can move forward. A poor choice can become a better choice with thoughtfulness. A bad day can become a great day with kindness. I can act with compassion and lend a helping hand. I can treat others with equality and be fair. I can choose not to fight, but to instead listen and find common ground. One we could all hear a little bit more of. I can say, I'm sorry, and ask for forgiveness. I am human. One of billions, but unique. I am not alone. I am connected to my friends, to my family, to the world. We are all humans together. And I will keep trying to be the best version of me. I am full of hope. I am human. That's it. Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josh. The sharing of joys and concerns milestones, joys, concerns, and milestones is a tradition in our fellowship. You are welcome to come up, drop a glass pebble into the water silently, or while speaking a few words into the microphone. This practice shares our joys and helps us support each other in sorrows. Please remember to tell only about others with their permission and to keep it brief. This is a sacred time for us, and the live stream is stopped during this time. we leave a space in our service for a time of quiet meditation and prayer. Megan Devine is one of my favorite authors on grief. Those are different things. I didn't get much sleep last night, so y'all bear with me. This excerpt from her book, It's Okay That You're Not Okay, which I have read many times and found much great comfort in. I just wanted to share with you today. Some things cannot be fixed. They can only be carried. Grief like yours, love like yours, can only be carried. Survival in grief, even eventually building a new life alongside grief, comes with willingness to bear witness, both to yourself and to the others who find themselves inside the life that they didn't see coming. Together, we create real hope for ourselves and for one another. We need each other to survive. I wish this for you, to find the people you belong with, the ones who will see your pain, companion you, hold you close, even as the heavy lifting of grief is yours, both alone and collectively. As hard as they may seem to find at all times, your community is out here. Look for them, collect them, knit them into a vast flotilla of light that can hold you. I'll let you just meditate on that for a moment. After our song of dedication, greeters will take up the offering. Our fellowship is supported by our pledges and donations. If you are paying your pledge with a check today, please make a note in the memo line. If you are paying with cash, please ask one of the greeters coming around for an envelope, or you can grab one from the table by the door. We have a tradition we call Share the Plate, where we split equally all cash donations and checks not marked as pledges with a local charity. For the month of May, our Share the Plate partner is Opportunity Place. They provide safe shelter and empowering support for our community's most vulnerable. Thanks to all of you, UUFEC has supported this group for more than 15 years. They continue to do great things in our community. Please be as generous as you are able. Please help me welcome our guest speaker for today, my dear friend, Pastor Ivy Light from Eternal Hope UCC in Fort Walton Beach. She is ordained with the Progressive Christian Alliance and is a member in discernment with the United Church of Christ denomination. Pastor Ivy is pursuing a degree in social work and has served the community for over 15 years with attachment-based and trauma-informed childcare, as well as humanitarian outreach. Come on.
First, I just want to say I really appreciate being offered the opportunity to speak here today. I really do see it as an opportunity and just a really, well, an opportunity to make connections, to build friendships and relationships, to get to know one another. Because what we are doing is building community, and that's where that starts. It starts with that one-on-one, that person-to-person relationship. And especially when we are living in a world where everything is on fire, where that is a literal fire or a metaphorical fire. When we are living in a world on fire, we have to find a way to not become consumed. We have to find a way to not allow that to become who we are. And some fires rage through forests, through buildings, but the fires that we're living through right now, they rage through legislation, through identities and institutions. We have policies that are torching civil rights, communities that are under attack, climate coming completely unraveled. Institutions are collapsing. And for many of us, this fire is personal. We've lost people, some to death, some to silence, and some to the slow erosion of that safety and belonging that we all have the right to. Grief has scorched the edges of our lives. Our trans siblings are being legislated out of existence, and our Black and brown BIPOC community are being targeted, kidnapped from the streets, put into camps, prison. I found myself questioning long-held beliefs over the last several months about systems, about faith, about whether we stay and fight and protect, or we let go and we allow ourselves to create something new. On a personal note, I have always had to learn everything by doing. I've always had to learn things the hard way in my personal experience. I never had the adults, the parents, to guide me and tell me what to do. I had to figure almost everything out. And one thing that I have figured out is that any time I've ever stayed in a situation longer than I needed, it never really turned out well. Relationships, especially the relationships, they stay too long and it gets toxic and unhealthy. Staying in environments and homes and schools and jobs that's not serving us, that's hurting us. But then we think, what are the other options? If it doesn't do well to stay and to fight and to create change from within, what's the other option? So I'm thinking, and I go, well, obviously, in my mind, the next step is creation. What do we create? Okay, but then what about the gap in the middle? Okay? What about the people that are going to fall through the cracks? Because when we're talking about my personal life and whether we should stay or go in personal relationships, that's one thing. The fallout is me. If I have kids, it's me and my kids. But when we're thinking bigger, when we're thinking, okay, we'll use Christianity as an example. Right now, a lot of the harm being done to all of these people in these different communities is being done under the guise of what God deems is right and just. By people that have interpreted the words of God in a way that only reflects their own anger, that only reflects their own hurt and pain. So is it better to leave Christianity completely because it's still hurting people? Go even bigger than that. Are we fighting to save democracy, something that is still a system of oppression? Or do we look to what's better? This is where I'm at. That is, if we had a giant map of where I am with everything, that is the you are here. Figuring out how these two pieces fit together, figuring out where we go from here. Because when that fire rages too long, even the strongest of us start to wonder, will I be consumed? Will there be anything left of me when this is over? A raging fire is a metaphor that we often see in media. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of my favorite shows, the Fire Nation fought against and oppressed other nations and killed those who wouldn't fall in line. One of the main characters, Prince Zuko, one of his most known quotes is this: "Growing up, we were taught that the Fire Nation was the greatest civilization in history. And somehow the war was our way of sharing our greatness with the rest of the world." What an amazing lie that was. I find myself relating to this a lot lately because I see the ways that we can be great, but that we're not there yet. Because if it's great for one and not great for another, then it's not truly great. But when we have this world on fire, when everything is raging around us, uncontrollable, and think about it, this is a metaphor in media, not just the Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is the Force in Star Wars. This is the fire spirit in Frozen 2. It rages, it's angry, it's hurt. It needs to be heard, it needs to be nurtured, it needs to be calmed. But without any of that discipline, without any of that support, it just rages and it burns everything in sight, the good and the bad. Here in states like Florida, we have controlled burns because we know if things are left as it is, a wildfire will start on its own. But then there's a spark that is very different from this raging fire in the outside world. The fire, the spark within us, is a truth, it's a calling, it's a fierce insistence on our own worth and the worth of other people. For many of us, it's the spark that is the divine. And it must be nurtured, it must be protected, and it must be shared. The mastering of the self, the healing of the shadow side, these are all things, and in all of these medias, in Avatar, Aang, and even Prince Zuko, they have to master their emotional regulation. They have to master their self-discipline. They have to do healing. They have to do the actual real work of digging in to what is actually going on with them. There's another quote: "Water is cool and soothing, earth is steady and stable, but fire is alive. It breathes, it grows. Without a bender, the rock will not throw itself, but fire will spread everything in its path and burn it if one does not have the will to control it." It's in mastering this, it's in doing our shadow work, our trauma work, our healing work, that we fully begin to get control over this, to actually nurture that spark. Who you are. What makes you you? What makes you unique? What is your purpose? What excites you? What makes you think? What makes you reflect? What makes you cry? Not just when you're being hurt, but out of compassion and empathy. There's a moment in Avatar where Zuko realizes that the fire that he was taught to use as a weapon must be reclaimed as a source of warmth. He says fire is life, not just destruction. And to get there, he had to do the radical work of healing, forgiving, and change. We see the cleansing and restorative power of fire all over. The mystics call it the divine breath, representing the divine or the life force within all of us. Revolutionaries call it the fire of justice, the destructive power of justice, that passionate and righteous anger that fuels the pursuit of justice. And that makes me think of the recent burning down of Nottoway Plantation. That plantation, there's a reason why that's one of the only plantations that has survived up until recently, up until a couple days ago when it burnt down. The owners of that plantation were very wealthy. They owned a lot. They had over 150 enslaved people that worked on that plantation, and those were just the ones that were counted. When I think about the restorative power of fire, and I think about that plantation burning down, and I think about the ancestors, and that has to be such a powerful moment. To see something that was a symbol, a building, an actual physical representation of that oppression, of that violence being wiped from this earth. Across time, people have tended this spark in one another. When someone was too tired, too wounded, or too lost to do it alone, we come together. And now I'd like to do kind of a meditation with you, just a short reflection. I want to offer us a moment to connect with that spark. Whether you pray, meditate, or simply reflect, I invite you to close your eyes, lower your gaze as you feel led. I invite you now to get comfortable in your seat. You don't have to do anything fancy, just be. Maybe close your eyes, soften your gaze, take a deep breath in and let it go. As you exhale, let your shoulders drop, your jaw unclench, and your heartbeat settle. In your mind, picture a small flame, not a wildfire or a blaze, but a flicker, a candle, a spark, a glowing ember at the center of your being. That little flame is yours, and it may have dimmed, it may have sputters, but it has not gone out. This is your spark, the part of you that remembers who you are, the part that sings your truth even when your voice shakes, the part that insists that you matter even when the world tells you otherwise. Maybe your spark is your creativity, your identity, your grief, your rage, your righteous anger, your tenderness, your resilience, your refusal to give up. Whatever it is, let it glow. Let it warm you. Let it remind you that you are not alone, and you were never meant to tend this fire by yourself. Now imagine all the little sparks in this room, each one glowing with its own color, its own rhythm, and its own truth. Imagine what they look like together. Not a wildfire, but a constellation of sacred sparks. And together, we are the fire that refuses to go out. We are the fire that lights the way, that brings warmth. We are the fire that persists. May it be so. It's one thing to carry that spark, that thing that makes you unique, that makes you you, your truth, your fire. It's one thing to carry that spark, but it's another to tend a fire together. I have a quote from a book that Cal actually sent to me. It's called "We Do This Until We Free Us" by Miriam Kaba. I think that love is a requirement of principled struggle, both self-love and love of others, that we must all do what we can, that it is better to do something rather than nothing, that we have to trust ourselves as well as others. I often repeat the adage that hope is a discipline. We must practice it daily. That's what community is, a collective agreement to keep each other warm and safe. No one has to save the world by themselves. We just find one place, one purpose, one person, one action to start. Show up for the trans kid who's scared right now. Offer food to someone who hasn't eaten. Write an email, call your representatives, and have the hard conversation at your dinner table. Join mutual aid groups, community co-ops, and sign up for community education workshops. Listen to grief without trying to fix it. Allow people to feel and still be held. Acknowledge and validate when someone has been hurt, especially if you were involved. Be willing to reflect and consider areas that we have the opportunity for growth. We don't need to save the world today. Just find our ember, blow gently, protect someone. Protect someone else's spark if it's flickering. Not through grand gestures, but through the faithful tending of what's already burning within us. The world will try to tell us that our spark doesn't matter, that it's too small, too big, too strange, or too different. But your spark is sacred. And when we gather them, breathe life into them together, we become the fire that refuses to go out. I challenge each and every one of us this week to focus on nurturing that spark within us. Because right now, that raging fire outside is coming, and it wants to consume all. But we have a choice. We have a choice on how we see it, how we experience things, and how we define them. We have the choice to say, yes, the fire is burning outside, but the fire within me is just as strong. We have the choice to say that, yes, we are a people still learning, still growing, still on that path. But there's room on this path for all of us. Again, I want to thank you for having me here. I really look forward to how we can do more things together in the future, collaboration, activities, anything. And again, we're learning. We're growing. I'm very is not that doesn't steamroll people, that does not make people feel like they are less than. I feel like I'm going a little off script here, so I will wrap it up. At the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender, we have now I'm not sure how many of us have seen this, so just a quick little context. Avatar: The Last Airbender, okay? The world is divided into 4 nations. You got the Fire Nation, Water Nation, Air Nation, and Earth. Okay? So the Fire Nation is the dominant one. They go and they wipe everything out. Okay? They go and they wipe everything out. Okay? They wipe out a lot of the airbenders and they take over everybody else. They're colonizers. They colonized. And so the Avatar is sent to bring balance in this world. He's the only one in this universe that can master all 4 of these elements, all 4 of the bending elements. Okay? And so in order to, at the climax of this show, in order to get there, in order to have his little battle with the Fire Lord Ozo, there we go. He has to go through this process, like I said, of healing and opening, the different centers and everything. But the thing is, none of that would have done anything for Aang had he not had the support and love of his community. And while his community was very small, and it consisted of like a 13 and a 15-year-old, that was community. So I will leave it there. May it be so. Whatever you guys say at the end of your talks, thank you again for having me.
Thank you so much, Pastor Ivy. That was really powerful. Please stand as you are able for our final hymn, I Am That Great and Fiery Force, number 27, in your gray hymnals. I will leave you today with 2 quotes from one of my other favorite books by Mariame Kaba and author Kelly Hayes, co-author. Let this radicalize you. The creative power of the oppressed will always exceed that of the oppressor, because it is the oppressed who must exercise creativity to navigate and survive a world that is set against them. And our goal should be interdependence, to be part of a community where rescue is viewed not as exceptional, but as something that we owe each other. Please stay seated for the postlude. Please join us in the back for refreshments and conversation, followed by second-hour discussion groups. Again, we have Ancient History of Religions in the Harmony Room, and speaker circle with Pastor Ivy right up here in front. Released.